Hey everybody, slightly slanted sleuth. Hey everybody, slightly slanted sleuth. So how is everybody tonight? Hope everything is fine. Hope everybody is good. But I'd like to say hi to Mr. Menza, Mary Wins, Thoth. What's up, Miles? What were you guys talking about? Just seen a video by Derek Bros, Can Science Resistance, about the NSA indoctrinating young. What up? What up? What up? What up? Sorry, I haven't been doing many videos or live streams lately. I've been busy with bowling, work, and the heat. It's been super hot here up until the last few days, actually. I just saw the article as well. CNN. Nope. What are you guys talking about? Article. Look at, I'm running around with the formula of everything on my chest. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I made this. I had them screen printed. No, I'm just kidding. I got it. It is hot here too. Where are you at, Mary? Sorry, I have to stuff my face with some M&Ms. But I apologize for the live stream earlier. It was quite horrible. But I'd like to sorry. Jojo, what's up, girl? Yes, we are alive. We are alive. We're alive. Yes, we are. Southern California. Yeah, there's supposed to be a heat index there of 100 or so for the next week or so, isn't it? Yeah, I just got done bowling, and I bowled horrible. But I'd like to talk tonight about me and how cool I am and everything else, you know, because I'm the bomb. I'm the best. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. Of course, I'm kidding. No, I'd like to talk about what it means to us. 3 weeks, yeah. Boom. What it means to us to I want to pose the question. Do you guys think this enlightenment thing is a midlife crisis type deal, or do you think the midlife crisis type deal is a consequence of the enlightenment? Do you think that everybody at around this age tends to look for things other than the materialism of our dualistic, materialistic world? What do you guys think? Not everyone. Not everyone. What do you mean? We're getting deep now, folks. Both. It's an opportunity to get wiser, to grow, probably because you have had kids and whatnot. Yeah, but I think if I'm not mistaken, most of us are around 45 years old here. 45, 50, 55. Since age 9. Right. Well, like I've said, yeah, Mary says she's pondering it herself. Done what you need to remake yourself. Yeah. 51, yep. Right around this age is, they say that men around 45 have midlife crisis, 45 to 50. What's up, Pete Turtle? I'm doing this stream for you. Quantum Spirit, nice to see you here. I'm glad you could join us. But yes, we're We're laying it on the line, the line, the line. But what does it mean to you, P Turtle, to what I posed a question earlier just a couple minutes ago. Do you think the midlife crisis is a consequence of the awakening or vice versa? You know, is the awakening just a started at 50, empty nest, career collapse, health collapse? Yep. Hormones, yep. Yep. Like the women go through menopause, men go through testosterone pause. I don't know what you want to call it, but we start losing our testosterone right around 45, 50, right? Is that the house of bread, the pinnacle, and then downward? So yeah, that makes sense. So the morning, birth, then life, then you reach your pinnacle, and then it's downhill from there, right? So what if that signals within us to recognize what our true self is and what our true purpose on this planet is for? Same ages are when some schizophrenia manifests. Yes. The enlightenment, the thing that gets me, it seems only a very few people achieve it. True enlightenment, I mean. Yes, Menza, I do believe you're correct about that. And I do believe, well, I hate using the word believe. I do think that you're 100% correct there. That is the creme de la creme that achieved the Anunnaki status. Yes. I like this version of life better than what I knew. What up, Brandy? How you doing, Chicky? Glad you could join us. I told the doctor they'd call me insane. Yes, they'd call me insane too. They've called me insane. Get this, I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but I had anger management class. I flipped out, whatever. Cops beat me up. I went to jail. Da 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 da. It was bullshit because I told the cop that it's a free country. I don't need to talk to you. What happened was I was arguing with my wife, and I threw my key at my van and broke my window. And a cop happened to be driving by. Well, the cop come over and he said, "Come here, I want to talk to you." I'm like, "No, it's a free country. I don't need to talk to you. That's my van." Well, needless to say, I ended up with a disorderly conduct and got maced, got beat down by the cops. But anyway, the long story short is that through all of that, now, what was my point with that? Duh. What was my point with that? But anyway, I got maced, I got beat down. What the hell was I talking about here? Bastards, yeah. What was I talking about? Come on, remind me. Sadistic freak put handcuffs on me and beat me. No, they were holding me down on my. Oh yeah, okay. I was telling you guys that at my lowest point, I was caught up in. I don't know. I was caught up in the materialism of this world. And I think, I don't know what I was talking about. You can break your own shit. You can break your own shit. What does that mean? You can get tiny little wieners hard. You got beat down by the police. Yes, I got beat down by the police. Oh, yeah, the cream of the crop, the population. Yeah, I mean, Jesus saved me. I'm a sinner. It's a fact. Okay, what was I talking about? Exactly. Right. Not against any freaking law. Right. We are talking insanity and schizophrenia. Oh, yeah, I got disorderly conduct. Got put in jail. ended up having to be on probation. Da 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 da. I don't even know where I was going with this, guys. My mind is fried. Have you guys been doing that too? I mean, I don't know, man. With desires, one can only see the manifestations, and to see the mystery in the doorway to all understanding, enlightenment. Say a few 100 or even 10,000 out of the world's population, a very inefficient system. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Miss Space Cake. Hi. Thank you for reminding me. Finding your purpose in life. That's what I was talking about. So I get beat down by the cops. And, at this point, I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? I'm supposed to be a free citizen in a free country in a free land, free thinker, free. But are we really free? But that whole incident put me on medication. Okay. And then I had to go through a psych evaluation. Well, I go to the psych evaluation, and I go to the psych evaluation. I open the envelope to see where it is, and where is it? 333 Grand Avenue. I get there. The doctor asks me, "What's on your mind?" I'm like, well, first and foremost, you're going to think I'm crazy. Well, this is why I'm stating this, because I think somebody said in the chat that, they're going to call me crazy. Well, the doctor asked me, so, you see this number all the time? And I asked him, yeah, or I said, yeah. And why? Do you have any idea what that could be? And he says, oh, you're looking for it, and, you're reading into things too much. Well, today, the oddest thing happened. 333 came up again. Twice. The other day, I was flying down the road. Same thing. Car come out of nowhere from behind me. 333 was on the license plate. And I don't look for this. It just crosses my path all the time. All the time. Oh, and today I get this address I got to go to. 3313, where I bought a lawn tractor today. It's just incredible how it the church I started going to that got me interested in this esoteric knowledge, that started defining my purpose, was the last numbers were 333. Yeah, off meds and prove it. Decades of numb sucked. Steve, you are hilarious. All caps. Thank you. Well, I'm not trying to be. Yes, but all of that aside, guys, the convoluted mess we have all gotten ourselves intertwined in the materialism of this fake ass wannabe rich ass world. The mess we've gotten us into, we can get out of. All it takes is selflessness. I honestly believe that now. Selfless behavior without anything in return is where it's at. Because if you pay it forward, it will continue and it will snowball. I have arguments for everything almost. Yes, you do. On the level, Miss Space Case, on the level. On the level is it's not all you need. If all I needed was love, well, I guess, yeah, all you need is love. Love is all you need. But yeah, love is a transient aspect, or a physical emotion that transcends the finite structure of us, does it not? It transforms everything from negative to positive. If but I mean, you have to have watching her with your outside. Love does not work for the IRS. I like how you put that there too. Right. And am I buffering? I hope not. But yes, the fact of the matter is we find ourselves in a situation. Oh, I got a response from. I'm gonna have SGD Sacred Geometry Decoded on my channel here on a live stream soon. He just texted me back or messaged me back, and maybe we can talk about Akhenaten's tune, KV55. Has anybody else looked into that? The KV55 tomb in the Valley of the Kings. You have to look into that, guys. That's insane. I mean, yeah, Sacred Geometry Decoded is the guy who's on the numbers of the Giza Plateau, and he's made so many correlations. It's incredible. From the pixel rate of TVs to the Kali Yuga to the Satra Yuga to the Yugas, the numbers in the Yugas. He's correlated them to the numbers in the Rig Veda or in the Veda, and then he's correlated those, the same numbers, to the Sumerian kings list, because they're 432,000 years, that's 432. And all of these numbers tend to go up in magnitude, and they're all derivatives of the 60 or the sexagesimal counting system from the Sumerian Babylonian era. And that's what we still, yes, geometry. Geo is earth, metry is measure. So the geometry is earth measure. That's why the symbols for the alchemical elements are in the form of a triangle. The earth force in the emerald tablets is in the form of the pyramid. Dodecahedron, I believe, is a tetrahedron? Yeah, tetrahedron is two pyramids put together, right? Also looks like a diamond, correct? Am I correct with that? Flat shapes become 3D shapes, yes. Some shapes are common in all creation. Yes, the shapes of, that's odd you say that, because if you lay out the seed of life and you look at it, you can see a cube within it or a hexagram. And that's incredible that you can see fractalization in different angles and not just in curves. But I'd like to say this incantation, or whatever you want to call it, prayer. Mighty spirit of light that shines through the cosmos, draw my flame closer in harmony to thee. Lift up my fire from out of the darkness, magnet of fire that is one with thee all. Lift up my soul, thou mighty and potent, child of the light, turn not away. Draw me in power to melt in thy furnace, one with all things and all things in one, fire of the life strain and one with the brain. Now, within that prayer, chant, whatever you want to call it, I've explored many meanings of what it means. And that spirit of light is what all animate creatures, anything that is alive, any biomass that has a readable heartbeat or on an EKG machine, has the absolute in it. God is in him, in them, in it. And I had this discussion with my uncle the other day, and we were talking about, do animals have the same animation energy within them as we do? And I say, yeah. I think that the absolute is within all of us, but we are not the absolute. We are the pinnacle of creation as far as the generation or gender principle, right before the mentalism, then correspondence, and the generation is the last, but the first of the seven. And that's where the whole seven comes from. But I was speaking to my uncle, and he said, I don't know, I've never really correlated any sort of information like that. And I thought to myself, I'm like, what do you mean? Have you? And I asked him, I said, have you had people die in front of you? Have they, looked at you for the last time? You were the last person they seen. And he said, yeah. And he still didn't get what I was getting at. But like I've told everybody, my dad looked at me the same way my dog did when I put my dog down. And I will never put another animal down that I own, and yes, just different consciousness in all. Nobody wants to be told lies, yet they tell lies. Yeah. It was a joke. Politically correct is a fake law. Nature has perfection built in. Yes, it does. And it has the pi ratio, the phi ratio, the Fibonacci spiral. Yes, quantum spirit. Yep. Tensor power. Tensor is the biggest. Did you see the Turing test correlation? No, I don't. I did not see that. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? But the tensors are what causes the perturbations, I suppose, which causes what else? Polarity. The tensors are probably the word, the truth, the vibratory, the vibration, the tensors. And I fed a worm, a bird. I fed a worm to a bird. Should I feel guilty? I don't know. The absolute is in the worm, but not the worm is not the absolute. No, but my point with that is we're like radios, you only going to get out of the radio what you put into it, meaning if there's high fidelity or, HD sound or digital optics or, whatever the case may be, the higher the brand stereo, the better the sound, right? So an animal is going to shine through if that animal is smarter than most of the other animals, but it's not going to reach our ability to be self-aware of our consciousness, because we're self-aware causes the regeneration of generation due to that simple fact alone. And when we realize that that's the whole coming together, making the two one again, folks, in the Bible. The biggest thing that has ever come across my face or eyes or ears was when Jesus said, does anybody know the verse right offhand? And I don't want to turn this into a religious fest or nothing, but and let's get this straight here. I believe Jesus, or I think Jesus. Well, this is how I see it. Jesus is Lucifer. Lucifer is Jesus, the light. It's Lucifer when we are created, when we are brought into this devilish existence. It's getting hot in here, right? We're in hell, if there is a hell. Okay? I don't mind breathing and farting, don't get me wrong. But that's the point. We have to, through selflessness in a selfish environment, pay it forward without expecting anything in return, for the better good, for the all, because we're all from the one. So we feed the one, the righteousness. That's what piety and righteousness is about. That's what it is. That's why all good can only beget good. Yet, without the bad, the good would not be tasteful. But my point with this is through our self-awareness, we become the thing in which it all takes place, guys. Our consciousness is the abyss. The light inseminates the abyss with truth. Then Lucifer becomes Jesus, our Savior. Then we rise above Jesus, or the light, Lucifer, become one with our true self. Now, that's the only thing that makes sense to me after all my digging. Okay? And it's not because of one particular person. It's because it makes sense. It makes complete sense to me. I've used all of my discernment, and it started, like I said, it started with the whole film of the sky. By the way, the sky was beautiful today. All of a sudden it started turning silver while I was out on the lake. Why? Sometimes I wish I was back asleep too. You know? Yes. I don't know, Brandy. I sense fear from the opposition. I don't know if there's I don't know if there is a names do have too many attachments. I follow the Emerald Tablet of Thoth, the Atlantean. Yes, that's what I've got. I've got that book right there. It's the only book I've really ever studied, to be honest with you. They're nervous. I honestly don't know if there's a concerted. No, yeah, there is a concerted effort from a top tier of our handlers that is, yeah, you know, it's coming to a head, and it's the corruption in all things. It's blatant. Censorship won't solve anything. Just make it worse. Yes, it will. Now, think about it, guys. When chaos ensues, right? When a system ages, this is part of the pendulum of rhythm of our existence, of the Hermetic. It's the fourth house of the Lord, or the fourth principle, rhythm. The pendulum swings both ways, right? The rise and fall, the ebb and the flow, the in, the out, the night, the day, the morning, the night. That's what it's all about, you know? So the ebb and flow, is it harvest time? What does that mean for us? Are we going to rise above it? You know, it matters not if you make it this time, because you'll make it sooner or later, because it's an infinite wheel, right? Society is reflecting dark night awakening, messy, yin yang. Yes, Edward Bernays talked of this as a very big problem without ethics in public relations. Yes. Yes, we are raising the vibration, correct. But the as the system ages, the entropy increases. So that's what the whole pushback and censorship thing is about. In the, if you want to look at it from a scientific or a physics point of view, that's how the expanding universe, right at the null point where it's done expanding and it starts going back in, you know, because the universe has a breath too, an out breath. That's why it's expanding right now, and that's why it's accelerating. And physicists don't know why. I suspect some do know why, because I suspect all of this knowledge was handed, you know, it's probably in the Vatican library, or, you know, whatever, wherever it is. But I think it's here, first and foremost. Like Tesla said, that we can, all we have to do is go to sleep, pondering what we want to know, and we wake up with the answer if we look long enough. If we ask her, hey, what's up, Anna? Hi, I liked your show earlier. Become corrupt, collapse, repeat. Yes, that's what I say about the founders have put in checks and balances to prevent this problem. Yes, but it's falling apart. They've circumvented. It's like the Tower of Babel. They've tried to circumvent the natural way, or the way that was set in. You know, set in. They were trying to put it in a tight structure so it couldn't be averted, or it couldn't be circumvented. But, you know, lo and behold, there's an executive order, right? Executive orders get everything done, don't they? Yes, all we have to do is ask and dream a little dream. Yep. And where was my thoughts on? Okay, we were talking about now the two one, bringing the two into one again. What does that mean to you guys? That's the polar opposites, right? Because we have to realize that even the good is the bad and bad is the good. That's what it's all about, is reconciling the negativity with the positivity, bringing them together. Is this why the neutrino, the neutral particle, the thing that does not positive charge or negatively charge anything, but neutral, is that why the neutrino is bombarding us right now? Is that what's bringing us to the middle road? Thought, I don't know, it's a good thought. I don't know, middle path, not polarization, balancing all things, yes. And where the smart people are, right? I would hope so. Right. Find a compromise in the two extremes, yes. And hey, what's up? What's up, Rainbow? I gotta hold back sometimes. What do you mean? I gotta hold back sometime. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm not the smartest whip in the arsenal. I know that. Who know what energies are at work? Magnetic north is split, much coming in. Yes, and I suspect it's the neutrino count, because if neutral particles are bombarding something that's positive or negative, what is it going to do? It's got to do something. They say that it doesn't affect matter, but I think that's a bunch of bull. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm glad you guys are all here with me. It's pretty late, and it's 12:15. I ain't the smartest whip, but I appreciate that, Jojo. Thank you. Increasing cosmic rays, solar minimum, lowering our magnetic field. But I think that right there in itself, Miles, is the key to the answer in which we seek. Hence the reason for the chemtrails. Because today the sky cleared, and if Spartan was on here or somebody that was lives in Minnesota, they could attest to this. The sky was deep blue again. I was like, wow, that's beautiful. All of a sudden, a couple hours later, looking silver. Now, people want to say that's bad, and Dane Winnington wants to say that it's killing us, but I postulate that if it wasn't for them, we would have burnt up. Because if you feel how hot the sun is these days, it's incredibly hot. I mean, I've got freckles where I've never had freckles before, and I've had freckles my whole life. So, I know it's not dark matter, it's consciousness of all. Yes, they do spray more when a full moon is coming. Yes. The pole is moving. Yes, and the pole is moving, I believe, because of the neutrino. It's messing up the equilibrium, because there was a positive, a yin and the yang. And you want to know why? Aristotle stated, when one sees pestilence, negativity, and strife in the world, the earth will respond in kind. And right now, there's volcano after volcano spewing ash into the atmosphere. It's heating up the core of the earth, whatever is bombarding us. It's not just affecting our weather, but it's heating from the inside out. That's why all of the ice is melting. 53 billion tons of ice in one day melted from Greenland. What is that going to do to folks? And have you noticed when it rains, it pours? No pun intended. Yeah, I don't think it's the end times. I think this okay, now get me on this January 13th, 2020. Now, I don't know why I've latched onto this date, but it's got the cross conjunction, and everything in my head screams that this means something because it's on 1/13/2020. Hindsight's 2020, the 1 in the 13, the first and the last, beginning in the alpha and the omega. But anyway, the polar opposites on either end of the jet of the cross is Earth at one end at the top, Pluto at the other end. Now, I've looked at tree of life depictions, and I found Pluto to be the Kether and Earth to be the Malkuth. From heaven, kingship was lowered. You know what I'm saying? So is Hades Pluto the polar opposite of Earth? I say it is. Maybe it's where the doo-wop goes. Now, I've had this, I just had this pop in my head, so I got to stray from what I was just talking about. When I stumbled across Danny Wilton's work in the Black Hole Sun, when he figured out that Orion's nebula is the same as the creation of atom painting, you know, in different light spectrums. It's the layout. It's got all of the lines. They correlate. They overlap. If you were to take a image of Orion's nebula and lay it over the creation of atom painting that Michelangelo did in 1512, before there was telescopes, mind you, it's a perfect match. Not only that, the Pyramid of Giza, the Great Pyramid, you lay that over it, and guess what? It's the eye in the triangle, okay? Now, in the middle of that is the trapezium open star cluster, in which the Fibonacci spiral of the Barnard's loop emanates from, which, through studies of, I think it was, I forget the guy's name, he did a documentary on Giza being the layout of, or the map of the stars, and the creation of where the place where Earth and the solar system was created, as well as Sirius, Regulus, Arcturus, a couple other stars, and the Pleiades and whatnot. But they're all located, if you were to follow the Fibonacci spiral from the Orion sword, the nebula, the trapezium, that's where Earth in our solar system is on that trajectory. Now, in the word is the answer to the questions we seek answers for. Trap, easy, huh? Think about that. So that slit in the sky that the Hopis, that the Mississippi River mound builders talked about, the slit in the sky, the jump off point, December 15th is when they held their bones until they were ready to do the Path of Soul ceremony, so their soul could be injected into the slit in the sky. Okay, that slit in the sky would lead you to Deneb, they say, which the path was, you know, do you go to the Duat or do you go above the Duat? You know, the Duat is the underworld. The underworld is Hades. Okay, now that all ties into what I was talking about earlier, but my point with the trapezium is that what it is? We allow to be trapped easy in this recycler, this reincarnation cycle that we just cannot break free from. Why? Because we think it's dog eat dog. We think that money is the way to freedom. We think that piety is nonsense. Knowledge is ignorance. All of the above. Why? Because that is the system we're born into. The devil is us. The devil is in the details. We detail our own devilishness, our selfishness, and we live in it. We mire in the muck of our madness, materialistic nature. But then all of a sudden we realize we're going to die. So we go through this midlife crisis. We start looking, turning over rocks. Unless you're smarter than that, or you've been down the road before and you realize it, or you've seen signs like me, 333, that lead you to the storehouse. Okay, it's a trap. I sort of don't care what will be. Yes, I agree with that, quantum spirit. Unless we evolve to live in total radiation. Well, maybe we do. Bohemian Grove, do the cremation of care for a reason. Do the cremation of care. One way to get rid of IR. Yeah, I agree. Love is the difference between us and the elite. I kind of disagree. I don't think all souls get recycled. No, I don't think so either. And I think though there are some that get illuminated, that become angels. Angels are the same as angels, angels of light. Because we are born by the light and we die by the light in the physical form. Our finite transient nature is the environment in which our infinite, ineffable energy marries the ineffable, becomes one with it, back to it, to God, if you will. It's how it's it's how without the light in the darkness, would it matter? Is the point, I think. I mean, without our perception, would light exist? And why haven't we been able to know that there are aliens out there in the universe? Why has that been held from us? Think about that. Was it one heretic king that started it all? Was it his bloodline that started making people look? Think about the first monotheistic affront on the gods, the Iliad or the Ennead or whatever it's called. The pantheon of gods of Egypt. The heretic king Akhenaten. He, started venerating the Aten, the sun, the physical sun, saying the physical sun was the center of our, existence, was the central sun, when we all know the central sun is within us and the center of our Milky Way galaxy. So, what is the purpose of making us look outward exoterically for, for enlightenment when it's within us? When it's with the environment in which all exists is within our consciousness. I mean, that's where I'm stuck at right now. I'm stuck at the yellow light, saying, all I can think of is Latka saying, or that, I don't know, I'm not even going to try to explain that, but your assumptions are your windows on the world. Scrub them off every once in a while or the light won't come in. Very good. Thank you for that. He is the guy they are trying to extradite. Bad for freedom of speech press. Oh, Julian Assange. I think that might be just a sideshow like Q. That might be a sideshow like Q, or a sideshow like Trump, or a sideshow like Rocket Man, or a sideshow like Iran, or a sideshow like Israel, or a sideshow like all of it. All of it is to keep us from defining the truth. Because what do they get out of us being above the cycles? What do they get out of it? They get knocked down a couple notches, right? So that's probably the reasons. With the enlightenment comes the enfrightenment of the people that are in power. Like you guys were saying earlier in the chat, they're frightened. Yeah. Why are they frightened? Sadly, he will be the next suicided. Julian Assange, I don't know about that. I think he would have already been done that disfavor. I think the Julian Assange thing is actually a red herring. If you know what I mean by that. It's something to tie your hopes and thoughts on. It's like the Alex Jones thing. That was another sideshow that turned into a bigger sideshow that it's distraction. We block our own light and our own growth by our beliefs and opinions or judgments. This is true. This is very true. It's all corporatocracy, profit machines. Yes. Everything is a distraction. That's what this the illusion of reality is. The whole setup is a veil, if you will. Hang on, I'm gonna find a couple quotes in here that I love in the Emerald Tablets. You know, they're poignant. They're straight to the point. I mean, they are. Knowledge is regarded by the fool as ignorance, and the things that are profitable are to him hurtful. He liveth in death; it is therefore his food. So the prophet is a ignorant man's food. The wise man lets his heart overflow, but keeps silent his mouth. Silence is of great profit, and abundance of speech profiteth nothing. Exalt not thine heart above the children of men, lest be brought lower than the dust. If thou be great among men, be honored for knowledge and gentleness. If thou seekest to know the nature of a friend, ask not his companion, but pass a time alone with him. Debate with him, testing his heart by his words and his bearing. That which goeth into the storehouse must come forth, and the things that are thine must be shared with a friend. That is paying it forward. That's, treating others like you'd have done to you. Man is a star bound to a body. Until the end, he is freed through his strife. Only by struggle and toiling thy utmost shall the star within thee bloom out in new life. He who knows the commencement of all things, free is his star from the realms of the night. Man supports himself only on that which resists. So earth must resist him, else he existeth not. All eyes do not see with the same vision, for to one object appears of one form and color, and to a different eye of another. So also the infinite fire changing from color to color is never the same from day to day. So, what do you guys say to that? I mean, the answer is love, and truly understand love. You must learn to love and that which you hate. Very good, Peter. That is exactly the point. That is exactly the point. My cult idea belief system is based on cause and effect, ripple effect. Yes, we do see differently. That's how some people can see orbs and some people can't. That's how it's our convoluted nature to turn everything on its head and make everything so complicated we can't figure it out has led us to where we're at today. And regardless of if we want to think it's a military industrial complex or whatnot, you have to admit to yourselves that you've been led down the primrose path because you were invested in it at some point. Were you not? So now when we turn on the TV and we see the news and whatever, all the shit that's going on, what do we think in our hearts? Does it enrage you? Does it sadden you? Does it do both? What can we do? What can we do about it? I know what I can do, and I do daily. I go out, pay it forward, open doors, say hi to everybody, smile at everybody. Every once in a while, pay for the person behind me in the fast food lane's food, And you do that, and you get this feeling inside you. You drive by somebody that's in a ditch or somebody that's broke down on the side of the road. And if you have the thought in your head that maybe I should stop and see if that person's all right, if they need help, maybe you should follow up on that and do it, not just assume, oh, they got a tow truck coming, or, you ain't got time, or, just do it. Just help somebody. Let somebody go in front of you at the boat launch. Somebody did that for me today. I was like, are you sure, man? And we had limited time. We all have limited time, don't we? The time we have should be time spent in the now, knowing that we are ineffable, or we are forever. Simple fact is we are spiraling through the spirals of the spiral. The center of all things is within us. within the galaxy, within all animate organic matter, has a center of all things. We're all interconnected that way. Ours is our heart. We live through our heart, just like Pete Turtle was saying. And I think we can achieve, you know. Gary McKinnon, he hacked the Pentagon. He just wanted to find out about UFOs and found a spreadsheet with non-terrestrial pilots trade also. Yes. Now can be easier if you have plans for eventual possible problems. Less worriers, happier now. I stopped my business, let it collapse, wouldn't feed the machine any longer. Yes, right. Improving things is what advancement is. The church is not what you think. Nothing is. Everything you know is a lie. Within them lies, though, is truth, and I think it's set up that way. I think the veil is self-induced, compartmentalized, and there's quote unquote evil afoot. You know, there are entities or beings or humans on this planet that know of the things that we're trying to figure out. Maybe decided to live the Luciferian doctrine, the materialistic world life, because they knew they could rise above. You know, they could rise above the petty peons and stay in power. You know, the ones that own the islands off of Antarctica are the ones that are in control of our world. Think about it. Think about it, folks. Think about it. It's that simple. It's that simple. The money, the MFers, right? So what are we going to do? Right. People don't want to believe in evil because they're scared of it. Yes. In the name of right. Hence our madness. Yes. You know, our is there a pretense for confusion? I mean, are we, is this system bound to fail every time? How many times do you guys suppose this has happened? How many yugas do you think we've gone through? Me, I can probably, you know, it probably has something to do with a bunch of threes, you know. There is a lot of crazy. Oh, you mean the RH negative? Am I RH negative? I am not. I don't think so. I have no idea. I've donated blood before, but I don't know. I am a number one positive. Sorry, I gotta take a drink of my tea here. But you know, a lot of us strive for this or that. A lot of us want a wiffle ball bat. I want peace. I want comfort, and I want smiles from even you, Miles. I want security, and I want to have fun. And I want to know that all is well when my work is done. There must be a place for us to lay our head, if that place is only everything I've said. I'm trying to be a poet, and I don't even know it, but you want to know something, guys? That is what it's all about, is living selflessly for others. That is the sacrifice part of, you know, you make sacrifices to gain wisdom. We all sacrifice everything daily. You know, like I don't want to go to work. right? I don't want to go to work. Why am I going to work? So I can feed my family. That's a sacrifice. Yes, it is. It's a sacrifice. I don't want to drive in traffic. I drive in traffic. Why? Because I have to, so I can feed my family. That's a sacrifice. But it's more than that too. You do for others without any expectations, and you feel good. Just you feel good inside. You feel like you've contributed in any way. You feel like you have. And I remember that first feeling I had when I did that when I was younger. And it was the best damn feeling I ever had. You know? And that is the gist of it is paying it forward. But yeah, the good deed buzz, yes. The good deed buzz. You can play the devil's game and still find the light. Yes, you can, but I have to say that you have to denounce and do away with all of your worldly affairs as far as the physical aspirations go. If you have money and you do good with that money, does that mean you're playing the Luciferian part? No. That means that you're doing good. You're paying it forward in the monetary sense. This is why I posed the question before. Could we exist in a utopian non-fiat currency type system? Could it exist? I think it could, but I think there's a trade-off we'll have to make where you're going to have some sort of caste system, or not caste system, but some sort of system that forces able-bodied people to spend a certain amount of years giving back to the public, you know. But I mean, it shouldn't be forced, and it probably wouldn't be if we got to that utopian state. But that's dreams, and I hate even bringing something like that up because you start thinking about it and you think that's impossible. But that's, some people believe they would do good for others if they had more money, but they never have enough. True. The RH leaders, etc., it's not a precursor for negative at all. It's a push to access spirit, positive or negative. If you're not a farmer, you have to eat. If you need things, trade for food. Yes. The more you get, the more you want. Yes. Yes. There isn't any proof that most of the leaders are RH negative anyways. I agree with that. And I don't think that's the case. RH negative is a quandary. I'd have to admit that. I still stand by what the Anunnaki means, and we can all become Anunnaki, sky fathers on Earth. The fallen angels are us. We've fallen from the state of knowing what our true calling is, or what our true meaning, purpose, reason for existence is. The top three trinity of the tree of life is through wisdom, you gain understanding to give your existence reason. But it's Shakma, Bina, and reason, or Kether, or crown. So it's wisdom, understanding, and reason. With the two, you get the reason. The reason for our existence is the the divine union. Believe it or not, our pineal gland opens up like the lotus flower, like and all of the Brahma and all of the Hindu, where you see the lotus flower coming out of his solar plexus, out of Vishnu's, I think it's Vishnu's, right? Yeah, solar plexus. That is, our spirit being blossoming for the cosmos, or to become one with the cosmos, to create the environment in which the light, the aha, the all spark. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here, guys, and just say, hey, I appreciate every one of you, and that, I wanted to do a live stream and maybe get some people to if you follow that. Could be from Cro-Magnon, who was the first modern man. There isn't any proof that most of the, what did Brandy say up here? We don't go in a coffin. Have to learn to control yourself now. Only the dust goes to dust. We have much to do. Learn. Good deed buzz. Love manifests love. Like the old saying goes, a time for peace and a time for war. I don't think there's I don't think there's any time for war. I think war is a contrived, ignorant mess that we've all bought into because we thought something or somebody was different than us when they actually, all we all want out of life is to be loved and to be healthy and to be happy. That's it. Love, light, and happiness. Abraham. Right. If a being without consciousness is told not to eat the fruit of that one tree, it won't. If a being has consciousness, it will eat from the tree. It is told not to because it has to know the original. The tree of life is actually, or the fruit from the tree is actually the light, right? The light is the tree of good and evil, right? And the cosmos, or the tree of life is the cosmos, or the egg, the cosmic egg, right? Am I saying that? The Turing test. What is Turing test? You're confusing me here. Turing test. I'll have to look that up. What is ludicrous? You know, there's no coincidence in the wording now. The soldiers, soul diary, you know, we've gone over that. No, the tree of life, I meant the tree of knowledge of good and evil is the tree of light, is the light, you know. The tree of life is the cosmos, the cosmic egg. It was forbidden. Yeah, that's what the religion, dogmatic religions told you. But you guys are thinking more of uh, a physical. You got to look at these stories more of an allegorical fashion. It may have manifested. They may have been people. They may have been this, or they may have been that. But first and foremost, all of these tales that have been handed down to us are allegorical. They're the algorithm of our human computer. The allegory is the algorithm of our software. You understand what I'm getting at there? It's convoluted in its nature for a reason. Could be. Could be. Candida feeds on sugar. The Turing test determines. Now, you may. Thank you, Quantum Spirit. I agree with that totally. I totally agree with that. I totally think that there is no they. I think there is a greed factor involved, but there may be a certain set of birds that want to maul over the rest of humanity, just run us all over. But who knows if they're gonna have a chance? Excuse me. Yes, but I agree with that. Maybe us humans are all mind controlled by your gut feeling. Right. That's why I am stuck on the light and what it means. And it's so precisely in your face, brilliantly hidden, yet right there for the seeker to see. You know, it's always that way. When you see, you know, I've seen the light. Let there be light. You know, the light is within. The way is through me. The light is the way. You know, when unto thee there comes a feeling, drawing you nearer to the dark gate, examine thine heart and find if the feeling thou hast has come from within. If thou shalt find the darkness thine in thine own thoughts, banish them forth from place in thy mind. Send through thy body a wave of vibration, irregular first and regular second, repeating time after time until free. Start the wave force in thy brain center. Direct it in waves from thine head to thy feet. Now, what do you think that vibration is, guys? Do you think that vibration is a or a, you know, do you think it's caused by our vocal cords first and foremost, or do you think there's a vibratory essence that we can get our insides vibrating? You know, gut feelings are past lives that have done what you're about to. People don't come together for anything. Yes, they do. But you cannot have a groupthink mentality either. Yet, if we all come together, if we all could see, we all would be in perfect harmony. I'd like to teach the world to see in perfect harmony. Whatever that song is, the lyrics, I think I just hacked the shit out of it, but you know, the whole rainbows and unicorns thing is a bit much, but it is the right. See, I don't think as I think about this, it's conflicting within me that, you know, there has to be one for the other and there has to be the other for the one. So I don't know. Ohm is also a unit of measurement. Ohm is what Americans call source. That sound. Have you guys done it to your lips? Yes, living in perfect harmony. Yeah, everybody loves to read Doss comments because he's brash and doesn't even give a shit. You know, I love reading his comments too. But hey, guys, it's late here. I'm glad you could join me tonight. And you know what? Keep it real. Native Americans, I didn't proofread. What does that mean? Thank you, Hidden Hand. Thank you, Brandy Robinson. Thank you, Thoth. Thank you, Mary. Brandy, Quantum Spirit. Thank you. Mary Wins. Yes, Pete Turtle. Thank you. If it wasn't for Pete Turtle, we wouldn't have done this tonight. Because I like turtles. I like turtles. Anna, thank you if you're still here. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. You know, I don't know if I got out what I wanted to, but, you know, just treat everybody like they're your mother, you know, nice. Hopefully your mother's nice, or, you know, treat everybody like they're your brother. Treat everybody like they're your dad. Treat everybody like they're your sister. Treat everybody like they're you. How's that? You know, do you want to beat yourself up? You know, or do you want to help yourself up? I want to help myself up. I want to help you up. Much love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all. Keep it real. Keep it righteous. Do it with love. See ya.